Welcome. This is the Men Church Stuff Podcast. This is the show where brothers-in-law DJ Culp and Brad Coleman talk about stuff from our perspective as men. It's a show for anyone who wants to hear how Christians interact with the world. And don't worry, we're real. We've grown up in church, and we want to share our experiences with you. We'll talk life stuff, church stuff, man stuff, and stuff. Here we go. Greetings, listeners here and there and everywhere, all across the land. This is the Men Church Stuff Podcast. I am one of your hosts, DJ Culp. As always, here with my beloved brother-in-law, Brad Coleman. Brad, what's up, man? Happy today.
Happy today. Just sipping on my coffee, enjoying a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it is another Men Church Stuff Monday.
Yeah. It's good fall.
Yes,
all
it is,
day.
Dude. I'm bundled up. I like your coffee mug, dude. That's cool.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Oh, it's Harry Potter? I thought it was Star Wars. I don't like your coffee mug as much now.
I do have Star Wars mugs. This is the one your sister brought me this morning. Usually I bring her coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
The day I slept in a bit, she brought me coffee, so she picked the mug.
Potter. Of course she did. So listeners, we have been getting a lot of good feedback on the new artwork and the new music. Shout out, by the way, I need to make this official, Brad. So listeners, what you need to know is the artwork and the music was recorded 2 weeks in advance. So, or the shows were recorded 2 weeks in advance.
I was like, how do you record artwork?
Right, yeah. Sorry.
I recorded this.
But I want to give a formal shout out to Chase Bodiford. Shout out to Chase, one of my former student of mine. He's finishing up here at Union. He was the winner of the mixing challenge, basically the assignment that Bob Mayo and his kids and his students completed. So the mix of our new music is I can chalk that up to Chase, and he did a really, really great job. Good
job, Chase.
Yeah, it's a fantastic mix. Well done. And so to that point, just to let listeners around the country and around the world know that if you are in need of anyone that, if you've got a project that you need mixing, if you need help with anything like that, please reach out to us, because I can get you into contact with some extremely talented and very aspiring students.
Musically mixing, right?
Musically mixing,
not like
yes.
Making cakes.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, not Martha Stewart.
Dude, can you come mix this for me?
No, thank you. No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. No cookies. Got it.
No cookies. So, Brad, here's how we're going to start out today. And listeners, Brad does not know what we're doing here, so this is going to be super fun.
That's like pretty obvious most of the time.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Brad has no idea what we're doing.
Brad does not know.
He just shows up. We start talking.
All right. I do need to make this disclaimer. It doesn't. I'm not at liberty to say, because nothing is completely in stone yet. But listeners, I want you to be on the lookout for a new collaboration with a business that Brad and I and our show will be basically in cahoots with. So that is very, very close. But again,
I always wanted to be in cahoots with somebody.
Yeah, dude, you're in cahoots, man. We're about to be in cahoots. All right, Brad, I need an occupation.
An occupation.
What's an occupation?
Let's see. How about skydiver?
Skydiver.
Some people do that for an occupation. They take other people.
Color. I'm going to do lavender. I need a noun.
And you didn't tell me there's going to be grammar, DJ. Rock.
All right. An adjective. Stinky. I need a place, Brad.
Place. Hawaii.
Oh, let's see, another noun. How about pickle?
Ooh,
Brad, I need
gross.
a I need a direction.
Uh, um, North.
I really thought you were just gonna say up. Let's see, verb. Um, I can't get it out of my head. Postulating. Brad, I need
Good
a
verb. It's
noun.
a good verb. Coffee.
Coffee. Yes, coffee, coffee, coffee. All right. All right. Name of I'm gonna do this one. Name of someone in Lord of the Rings, the Balrog. All right, Brad, I need a noun.
uh, Tree.
Tree. I need another noun. How about um bird? Brad, I need a verb.
Running.
Running
Yeah.
or run in?
Hey,
Is it run
do you
in you're
want to
gonna
pronounce it right, or do you want to pronounce it like people want to
That's
pronounce it?
right.
The
Uh
G is silent at the end if you pronounce it right.
yeah. All right, I need a plural noun. Papers. All right, Brad, I need a verb.
Verb. Racing.
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 Racing. Yeah. A noun. How about um llama? I need
That's a
another
good one.
noun. Yeah.
Good one. Oh, like you've upped the ante. Like,
I have
okay.
up the ante.
How about
Yeah.
Yoshi?
Yoshi, I like it. Nice. Time period. Um, Baroque.
I've been there. I've been through the broke period.
Yeah, yeah, I have too, many times. Wow, wow. All right, and Brad, lastly, I need a verb.
A verb, lastly. Swimming.
Swimming. A lot of present tense action verbs. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners of our Men Church Stuff podcast. Um, Today's topic is Psalm 23, and we're gonna start a little heretical.
A little.
A little heretical. All right, here we go, Brad. The Lord is my skydiver. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in lavender rocks. He leads me beside stinky Hawaii. He restores my pickle. He leads me in north paths for his namesake. Yea, though I postulate through the valley of the shadow of coffee, I fear no evil, for you are with the Balrog. Your tree and your bird, they comfort me. You run a table before me in the presence of my papers. You race my head with oil. My llama overflows. Surely goodness and Yoshi shall follow me all the Baroque period of my life, and I shall swim in the house of the Lord forever.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
glad Yoshi's following me.
I do
And
too.
I'm glad that God is with the
The
Balrog because
Balrog.
he's going to tell him you can't pass, man. Hey, calm
You
down.
shall, you,
Calm yourself. I
you
just
shall.
like you see like Jesus having a Balrog like as a pet. I'm like, no, no,
Yes,
no.
exactly.
Hey,
No, no, no.
put that
That's
down.
no, no. Do
Back
not
up.
pass. You shall not pass.
That's right. Pick up your drum and you can play it, but like if you've never watched Lord of the Rings, go
Oh
do a
yes.
quick Google search for what a Balrog is. And then just imagine Jesus having a pet one.
Just like I just want you to know there's probably not much that would make me happier to see Jesus with a pet Balrog, just to let you know. Like
Yeah. They're not really bad. They're just
they're
misunderstood.
misunderstood. It's if
He's
you want
just
a
a big
Balrog,
puppy, just kind of petting it behind the ears.
that's right. You have to the ASPCA they give you a very detailed way to deal with this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. Oh, Brad, that's funny.
I
Um,
need I need you to like send me the link to like whatever you just
okay,
did.
you
That's
got it.
fantastic. We use
Yeah,
that in like youth group or something.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. So, just listeners, just to let you guys know, be expecting more of that kind of stuff. I had this brainchild idea just a couple days ago, Brad, of doing sermon madlibs. So what I might end up doing, and whenever I have the time, which is hilarious, but whenever I have the time, what I might end up doing is transcribing some of your own sermons and then removing removing nouns and adjectives. Like, Brad, these words came from your mouth. So here's
Well, and if you need to do that, I actually have a program that helps me do some other things
oh,
that
does it
takes their
transcribe for
video,
you?
so it actually transcribes. So I
Oh,
could
that'd
actually
be
send you the
amazing. That'd
transcription
be so awesome.
already.
Yeah.
Just of those. Yeah, we have
Oh, that's
a
good.
program that kind of takes and quotes and does some
Right.
really cool stuff with it. But one of the things it does is transcribes the sermon. I would say one
Okay.
of my favorite parts is like we usually set it up to start the Facebook Live because it's what we use right now.
Uh-huh.
Before everything gets started. That way there's not an interruption. So it's like you're kind of there as the people are walking by and all this stuff. And sometimes people don't realize that and they start talking or they're just going about their business and it's being recorded. And so it
Oh.
transcribes that. And there's this wonderful, and a lot of times there's a wonderful lady that brings peppermint candies like every Sunday or
Uh-huh.
some kind of candies and like she gives them out. And so we'll be like, "Do you want a piece of candy?"
And it's right there in the
Yeah, yeah. And we're
script.
like, "Yeah, I want one. Hey, can he have one too?" Yeah. Or like, "No, I don't want one." And I mean, it's just, and sometimes it picks up some other stuff, but
Oh man, that's
but
good.
it's I always enjoy the
Yeah, going
just
through. Yep.
just reading that at the
That's
beginning,
awesome.
and it's some good stuff.
So, real quick before we really read Psalm 23, listeners, what we would like for you to do, this is a call out. We need some responses from listeners. Find us or even create if you want to some Mad Libs.
Mm.
And like if you want to do them, if you want to do a scripture, if you want to do something of religious nature, or if you just want it to be like completely left hand, just please make sure that it is in fact suitable for the show. But yeah, send us some Mad Libs. We'll do them. We'll get them going. So, uh, the real Psalms 23 reads this: "The Lord is my shepherd; there is nothing I lack." I'm reading from Holman Christian Standard. He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He renews my life. He leads me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even when I go through the darkest valley, I fear no danger, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before my enemies in the you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Only goodness and faithful love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord as long as I live. So, the impetus for today's topic, Brad, I was actually having a conversation a couple weeks ago with a student here on campus that and listeners, if you're new to the show, I teach at a small Christian college. If you're not new to the show, you'll be familiar with that. But it's right now we're recording in October. Brad, you'll probably remember like late September through early November is the hardest part of the fall semester because the pace of the semester has caught up to you. um, Papers, tests, exams, all sorts of homework. Everything starts to get due all at once. And like social lives have really kind of gotten into full swing. There's in Jackson, Tennessee, there's plenty to do. It's a great location. So like it's the mid part of the semester is it's a grind. It really is. And morale can start to kind of drop. I can see fatigue
Hmm.
on students' faces, academic fatigue, emotional fatigue, spiritual fatigue. And so I was having a conversation the other day, or a couple weeks ago, anyways, with a student where it came up that this particular student was just in this grind,
Hmm.
and he was explaining to me that in these moments it is it's just really hard to basically, if you will, find the hope in his current circumstances, to be able to figure out basically, is this particular season of life worth it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And as a college student, I remember very clearly, like there's an added layer that you don't, like when you're in college, you don't realize that it's there until after
Hmm.
you get out of college. You get a job, maybe you get married, have kids. Um, there's a certain layer also in a college student's life of the transient nature of being a collegiate student, and you don't really feel planted
Hmm.
necessarily. And there's that, excuse me, there's the almost like shifty sand kind of feeling underneath your feet. Again, that you're not aware that it's there. But it reminded me of Psalm 23. And it's oddly enough, I've had a lot of these conversations in the last 6 months
Hmm.
of um the idea that um, even when I go through the darkest valley, or as others, as more traditional, older versions might say, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death," right?
Hmm.
Um, I've had a lot of the conversations of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And so, Brad, like, what's your take really on kind of the reality of Psalm 23? Yeah, look at that smile.
I
Yeah,
love Psalm 23.
yeah. Everyone, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to let Brad take it.
Yeah. No, DJ's gonna have to keep me from taking
All right,
over
Brad,
here.
you got all right. So you got 20 seconds, and then it's my
Yeah.
turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh geez, I can't even start in 20 seconds.
Yeah. So Brad,
Um
yeah. What is again? Just to reframe the question.
oh,
Um, what is the reality of Psalm 23 to you?
so let me talk about what I used to feel with Psalm 23 growing up, and then why Psalm 23 means so much to me now. Right? I learned it, I memorized it, still have it memorized by heart in King James, right?
Oh
And
wow.
even the New American Standard, so the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Hmm.
Right? So I'm young and very literal minded. And so one, I was confused a bit of why I was so excited, or this guy was so excited about a shepherd he didn't want.
Yeah.
I was that kid, like,
Right.
okay, Lord is my shepherd, but I
I
don't
shall
want
not
him,
want him. Yep.
right, yeah, but I don't want him to be. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
but then the rest of it sounds like pretty good,
Yeah. Right.
like, oh. And then, like, as I evolved and understood, oh, okay, that's what it means. I look at it and it's like, it sounds real nice. Like, right,
Mhm.
even in the valley of shadow of death, I'm not going to be afraid because you're with me and
Right. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
this stuff. And I'm like, wow. And so as my life became, got in the teenage years, got in the college years and all that, it's like, okay, my life is not this cushy little like romance of oh, it's so great. Life is so great.
Yeah.
And and then it dawned on me one day. David wrote this. This is a
Mhm.
psalm of David,
Yeah.
who did not have David's the guy who when the prophet's coming in and dad's calling in the people because one of them's going to be king,
Yeah.
dad doesn't even feel the need to bring David in the room.
That's right.
No, you stay out with the sheep. You know,
And doesn't even make mention to
right?
Samuel that he has another son
Yeah. I
until
mean,
Samuel, like at last thought he said, "Is there anyone else
God's
maybe?"
rejected all these.
Oh yeah,
God says it's gonna be one of your
I
sons.
do have
You're
this
gonna
other son. Yeah,
all right. Like so he
that's a good
like we're
point.
just reading
Yeah.
between the lines that his dad didn't even see the need to pull him in there. This was not a Joseph situation. There
No, it
was
was not.
no
Yeah,
multicolored
that's
coat. Um,
right.
he's watching the sheep and he has to fight off a lion.
Mhm.
He's watching the sheep and he fights off a bear. Then he comes down and Goliath is making fun of God for one and all of Israel, and nobody is willing to face him. And so here's this little shepherd boy going, well, God prepared me for
Yeah,
this.
well, shoot, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes him on and the power of God, which is
Right.
important in the story. But then then Saul, like, so he's been like anointed king, that he's going to be king by God, by the prophet of God, because God said, yeah, this is him.
Right.
And now he's in Saul's presence, and sometimes Saul's trying to kill him,
Right.
like a lot,
A lot. No, no,
and
like
this
please
they
make
haven't
that
even been
that
king yet.
distinction. Yeah, like not once or twice. Like it became Saul's MO, you know?
Yeah. And I'm not even sure at what point that he wrote this, but like when I look at David's life, it is a life of severe ups and downs. It's a life of struggle. And so it means more to me.
Hmm.
Then I read a book called A Shepherd's View of Psalm 23. And
Hmm.
he like kind of points out that it's a journey and it's like a season's journey. Right. So it's the traveling through. So you kind of meant to read it as this movement, as this walk. And I can get more into that as we go, but otherwise I'm just going to take over. But it's just when you start to look at that
Yeah.
and see that, hey, this is David saying these awesome things about God and what God is doing in his life and what God is taking him through in the midst of all of this chaos in his actual life. Well, now that psalm wasn't written by some guy that was, sitting on a mountaintop all the time and,
Sitting on the
you
dock of the
know,
bay watching the ships
yeah,
roll in.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was just, oh, this is so great. And no, it's a guy who can say all these things despite the fact that his life is full of constant, like, just tumultuousness.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if
Yeah.
that's a word. It
With the
is now.
space in the middle. Tumultuousness.
Dashness.
Yeah. So, um, Brad, since we weren't talking about coffee or anything related to coffee, I'm just going to go ahead and drop this now. Listeners, this is our very first coupon code with Green Frog Coffee Company in Jackson, Tennessee. We are in a collaboration relationship with them. They are cross promoting our show as we promote them. It is a hip joint. I can tell you that. I love their coffee. I love going there. Brad, our code word today is Psalms.
Psalms.
Psalms. Just because today's episode is Psalm 23. So today it's Psalms. So if you take the code word Psalms, go to the North Jackson location of Green Frog Coffee Company. It's right there close to Union University, right next to Leaders Credit Union. Um, Give them the code word Psalms, and you can get $2 off of your order
If you give
all
them the
day
code
long.
word, if you give them the code word Proverbs, you get to pay full price.
That's exactly right. Or any other book of the Bible for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green Frog Coffee Company it is, guys, a fantastic local coffee shop. If you find yourself in Jackson today on Monday, October 21, give them the code word Psalms. Their coffee is so good. A snowman will drink it. That's their slogan. Trust me when I tell you, guys, I love their coffee, really. So yeah, head over there. That's your code word for the day. Brad, let's just dive right back in. I don't want to go here on in this particular episode, but I think this is a really good springboard if we want to come back to it, at a later date. Um, the idea of suffering,
Mhm.
the idea of God allowing suffering, right?
Mhm.
It's part of it. This is actually part of I'm trying to remember what it's called, but the podcasting platform that we use, they're called recommendations. There are podcast recommendations that we can have as a way to basically cross promote other podcasts that
Mhm.
that not just that we like, but that we would be willing to support. And listeners, I really strongly encourage you, besides this podcast, of course, go check out the podcast. It used to be called the Side B podcast. I've said it before on the show, but
Mhm.
Jana Harmon has actually recently renamed it, called the Ex Skeptic. And what she does is she interviews. All interviews are former atheists, and a lot of them talk about the suffering idea. And again, I don't want to chase it, but I want to at least bear it out that Psalm 23, when you look at verse 4, even when I go through the darkest valley, I fear no danger, for you are with me. You can't run away from David acknowledging that suffering, and right now that suffering is going to be a part of life. I'm
Mhm.
going to argue that the word suffer is objective in the sense that we're experiencing something, but
Mhm.
that it is completely and utterly subjective in how we determine what suffering is. And the reason
Mhm.
I say that is, so this particular student, right, is a college student. And when it comes to the situations in life that unfortunately are more than likely awaiting him, when he goes through those, like what he's experiencing now is going to look very minuscule. But
Mhm.
because that hasn't happened yet, his reality is in fact that what he's going through is suffering.
Mhm. Just
It's his
because he's in the broke period.
he's in the he's
Yeah,
in the baroque period. Yeah,
he's a
right. Yeah.
broke
Yeah,
college
and the
student.
god, yeah, and the god's still with the ball rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was my favorite, by the way. Like, absolutely. So anyways, um and I would argue that the way that the church in general in my lifetime has viewed suffering has
Mhm.
been more through the lens of just don't be scared. And then
Mhm.
there's always I don't know, I guess there's a, and I can't give specific words to it, but there's
It's-
always been kind of this, the essence of whatever you are going through, not only does God understand, but there are other
mhm.
people that understand too. And it's almost as if, I know it's supposed to be hopeful, but it's almost as if it's almost like belittling
Mhm.
the experience that people are having.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Think about this. All right. God says a lot of times in his word, don't be afraid.
correct. Yes.
But normally God backs it up with why you shouldn't be afraid. Right. And I think it's an invitation.
Yeah.
And one, I think it's an acknowledgement that you are afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, every time that an angel appears pretty much, what's one of the first things they say? Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
So,
And
well, I mean, it's to me, it's the angel's way of saying, "Hey, I come in peace."
that's right.
Like I'm not here to destroy you.
Yeah.
I'm not here to eat
You're
you.
good. You're good. You're
Yeah,
not dying. Yeah,
not
right.
an assassin. Like I know that your
That's
fight or
right.
flight has been triggered because I'm
That's,
just like poof, here I am.
yeah. That's
But
my
don't be
best
afraid.
friend. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not visiting here right now. He's somewhere else. Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to be. Yeah, you don't have to be afraid. But what was God say? Don't be afraid because the Lord your God is with you.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid because I will be with you all. Yet all of these things. So God is saying, hey, you don't have to be afraid. You don't need to be afraid, and this is why.
Hmm.
I do that with my kids. Now, I don't have to do it as much now. It still comes into play every once in a while. But, I've got some mid teenagers.
Yeah.
And then, Hannah's like she's coming up there, kind of preteen, but especially when they're little. And they would just be terrified. There'd be a storm. And I'm like, look, you don't have to be afraid.
Hmm.
We're in our house. It's a strong house. Obviously, God is watching over us, and you don't have to be afraid of that thunder because it's just thunder. Like it's just a noise. It's a really loud noise, and it comes after. The thunder comes after, not before, right? Like the lightning, and then we get the sound after because light travels faster than sound.
Right.
So what you're hearing is what's already happened. So you don't have to be afraid of it. Right? And I'm right here with you,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to run out and leave you. And
That's a
so
really good point because I have told my daughter, um, Addie, often, I mean, often, I know you're scared of the rain. It's just rain.
yeah,
You don't have to be afraid,
yeah,
knowing good and well that she will continue to be so.
right.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about God is like, and probably the angels too, right? Like,
Right.
all right, like I know, like you're still freaked out, but it's okay. Like I'm not mad
Yeah, right.
because how would that
I'm
help, right?
I'm
If the
supposed to
angel's
tell
like,
you
hey, I
this.
told you
Yeah.
not to be scared.
Yeah.
I just let myself.
I'm supposed to tell you this every time that I appear to anybody, so don't be afraid. I know that you're already scared and you will continue to be scared,
Yeah.
but I have to tell you, don't be afraid.
Well, and sometimes, it tells us that the angel was appearing, like as men in white,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but it doesn't always really specify that. So, I mean, like, did sometimes were they showing up like Ezekiel visions,
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
full of
Whoa.
eyes and
Whoa. Whoa.
wings and creepy, like, hey, don't be scared.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Right.
Like, you keep reiterating that I'm not supposed to be, but I'm just going to let you know, I'm just going to keep being scared.
Yeah, right. There's fire coming out of your mouth every time you
Yeah.
speak. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
scared. Yeah, right.
yeah, it's pretty terrifying. It's have you looked in the mirror?
That's right. Do you know what you look like?
Yeah, it's like you might think you look like a puppy, but what you do not. You look more like a Balrog. It's like, hey, don't be scared. I'm like, what do they sound like too? Like it was like, do not be afraid.
Yeah, right.
All right, Darth Vader.
That's right. Yeah. So
Just
and when the angels
calm
go
it
back
down.
and when the angels go back to heaven, they have to have debriefing sessions, and the Balrog is the ones that give them the professional
Yeah.
development on on
Yeah.
how to approach them.
They're
Yeah,
probably laughing.
they are. Yeah, right. They're
They're
up there
probably,
going,
I'm
man,
like,
these people, they
they're
don't know
like,
nothing.
okay, hey, I got the assignment. I gotta go announce this today. Guys, make sure
That's
you're watching. You're
that's
watching. Which I low key like, hey, don't be afraid.
yeah.
Well, I wasn't until you said it like
That's
that.
peer teaching. Oh, that's awesome. um, but no, so I have found myself having a lot of conversations with students specifically um about
Yeah, because
what
you teach at a
because
university.
I
You should
teach at a
probably be having
university. That's
those.
exactly right. Yeah.
I haven't talked to students
I
ever.
talk to students many times. I teach them things. Um, but like I think there is so much of at least what I have found in the last probably 2 years, even in my own life, there's so much of a push for where's the hope, where's the joy, and rightly so. I'm not discrediting that at all. But us as humans, we well, referencing Brad, referencing the cake and eat it too conversation. We
Mm,
want to have our cake and we want to eat it too.
try it.
We want to experience God and we don't want to suffer,
Mm,
which
mm.
cannot cannot coexist whatsoever. Um, and
Not with our broken humanity.
not with our
Let's
broken
put it that
humanity. That's exactly right.
because I think we've gone through here on earth. We will go through the suffering. Jesus
Hmm.
went through the suffering, and then want to leave that like with that the curse is ended, that the
Yeah.
flesh is gone, like we have a new flesh which is holy and can exist. So I don't think there's suffering in heaven.
No, no, no. That's not what
Yeah.
I meant. But I meant
Yeah,
like
well, I
here
know.
on
I
Earth.
just like some
Oh,
people are like,
gotcha.
what? I'm
Yeah.
going to suffer for eternity? No, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
That's
no, no,
the
no.
other guy. Uh,
It's the other guy. That's right. So
Sorry, I just kind of get this idea now of somebody looking at a Balrog going like, "Hey, I thought you were going to hell,"
yeah,
and he was like, and him
I,
looking at me like, "No, I accepted Jesus as my
I
Lord and Savior."
accepted Jesus, the Balrog, before Gandalf
Yeah,
thrust his lightning sword.
yeah. He was
Oh,
like, hey guys, I just wanted to know if you guys were okay. Like I was, why you guys made such a big deal about it. Like you're in my house. I was just trying to be hospitable.
and Gandalf is yelling, "Do not pass!" And I was just getting mad at you because I didn't like. I was telling you, there's danger.
I was
There's
trying to tell
danger.
you,
Keep
yeah, that's
running.
gonna like the stuff's gonna start falling. Like, guys, no.
I was going to invite you for a cup of tea.
Yeah, I made crumpets. I mean, because it's British, right? Tea and crumpets. It's gonna get cold.
Never in my wildest dreams, Brett, would I've ever thought I'd have a positive conversation
About Balrog.
about the Balrog. Oh man, listeners, if you haven't ever seen Lord of the Rings, we're giving you some spoiler alerts. Go watch it; it's really good.
You're gonna
Um,
have a whole new,
whole new perspective. Yeah.
perspective.
So, but yeah, so I think the part of Psalm 23, I think in concept, I
Hmm.
understand more,
Hmm.
but maybe not as much in application
Okay.
in my own life is verse 2. He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He renews my life, leads me along the right paths for his name's sake. I think I can definitely look on my life
Hmm.
and see verse 3 for sure. If I were to categorize verse 3, he renews my life, leads me
Hmm.
along right paths for his namesake. I absolutely see that as like regeneration
Hmm.
after repentance, so
Right.
but with verse 2, I think I think I have overtly experienced verse 2 less
Mm.
in my own life.
Okay.
And I may be speaking way out of turn because I have maybe that's my own fault because I haven't sat down
Hmm.
to actually think when has the Lord let me lie down in a green pasture. And I mean, to be quite honest, as busy as I am right now,
Hmm.
maybe I'm actually in that stage right now as we speak because Brad,
Hmm.
I will say that I have never I've really have never had more on my plate professionally um, than I have right now.
Hmm.
And this is my ninth year teaching full time
Hmm.
at the collegiate level. And this is the first semester that I can actually think of where I have not felt like I can't catch my tail.
Yeah.
I have actually, I mean, there's some homework I haven't graded yet, but I know I
Hmm.
can get to it, and my
Hmm.
schedule has not run away with me. And I seriously only can, and I say this to people, I can only attribute it to God. I have no earthly
Hmm.
idea
Hmm.
why. So I may be in verse 2 right now.
Good. So, so think about this. One, you kind of got to get the picture of a sheep that's being led by a shepherd,
Hmm.
right? And that's the picture. So what is green pastures and still waters? That's safety, that's comfort. That's a time where the stress of the wolves, there's no wolves. You
Right,
can look
right.
around the field, there's no wolves. We're going through the valley of the shadow of death, the valley of the deepest darkness, wolves,
Wolves.
like danger. But here it it is a time of soul restoration. It's a time of rest. So
Yeah.
you can lay down and you can sleep and you cannot be afraid. Now, you don't have to be afraid in these other times because the shepherd is with you,
He's still
because
with us.
God's with
Yes,
us.
right. Yeah.
But it's not stressful. So I think about when we're out, when you and I and your dad have gone out fishing. It's like
That's a
it's one
green
of those
pasture
times
for
where
sure.
that's a green pasture, that's a still water for me.
Yeah.
I'm decompressing
Right.
from like all of the things that I'm just carrying most of the
Hmm.
time. These thoughts in the back of my mind. I'm doing my best to kind of just, and so that's it. That I will tell you that when I looking back in my life, one of the greatest times of green pastures and still waters was was after my dad's first set of brain surgeries. And for 9.5 months, he didn't have a seizure. He went from
Oh,
having
dude.
seizures, weekly
Yeah.
for 9.5 months, not having a seizure.
Wow.
And it was just an incredible time of rest.
Yeah.
And then he had a cluster of seizures for 3.5 hours. Should have killed him.
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't have walked away from that. They took him to Lexington. There was issue, I believe, from that led to other brain surgeries. Ultimately, led to him passing a couple years later.
Right.
And the next 2 or 3 years was some of the most difficult of my life.
Right. Yeah.
And when it first happened, when it first ended, right, that night that those seizures came back, I got mad at God. I yelled at God. I felt like God had played a trick on me. You let me take it easy. You let me think it was over. There were some negative adjustments, but like they were livable,
Mm.
with Dad's personality and stuff. And so it was one of the times when I remember your sister and I were married. I was outside um, of the apartment in the truck in this complex, and I'm just yelling at God. If anybody saw me, I don't know if anybody did, but they did. They probably would have been like, "Nope, I'm going the other way." Because I'm just yelling.
Yeah.
This not
Alternate
small
route.
guy. I'm just banging my hands on the steering column. I mean, it's the grace of God I didn't set off the airbag because like I was holding nothing back. I was just hitting with my fist the steering wheel, just yelling at God because like like he played a trick on me in my mind.
Yeah.
And it's one of those times when the Holy Spirit, honestly, like I felt like I didn't hear him audibly, but it was so close. It was, and and it was one of the times too that he wasn't as gentle as I like gentle normally. I mean, it was the firmness that I needed, but with love. And I felt like God said, "Do you think that I have forgotten your family? And do you think that I'm not still in control?
Yeah.
That I've lost control, whatever?" And and at that point, like that's what I needed. Some of my favorite scriptures, and God remembered Noah, and God remembered Abraham.
Mm.
I love that because it doesn't say that God forgot and then remembered,
Right. Yeah.
which is what we kind of contextually try to put in there.
Right.
No, it means I never forgot.
Yeah.
I remember. And so I cried. I just broke down and cried. Now I did not know what the next few years would hold, but God did. And so now I can look back and go, that was green pastures, still waters. That was restoring my soul
Right.
because you knew I needed that restoration before we were going to walk through this valley. That if I'd have walked through this valley
Oh, dude, that's legit.
before, if walked through this valley before that restoration, it probably would have took me.
Yeah.
I would
So,
have I would have fallen in the valley.
yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, obviously I can't answer this, and I don't think
Mhm.
anybody can, except David, and we can ask him, and for all we
Mhm.
know in heaven, he's gonna be like, dude, I don't even remember writing that.
Yeah.
But David David writes, Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack.
Mhm.
He lets me lie down in green pastures. He renews my life. And then even when I go through the darkest valley, it's really interesting that
Mhm.
like the sequence of events is not Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack. When I go through the darkest valley, then he makes
Mhm.
me lie down.
Right.
So that's interesting, dude. I've never actually I don't think I've ever like vocalized
Yeah.
that sequence of events. That's
Well,
that's cool.
and here's so I did devotional on this just recently.
Uh-huh.
With this is what's cool. The valley is, or the green pastures and still waters are comfortable. Does God want us to be comfortable? Sometimes yes,
Right.
but He doesn't want us to stay there.
Correct.
Now, if I said, "Hey, DJ, here we are. We're having a good time. It's comfortable. It's enjoyable. Hey, you want to go take a trip down the walk in this valley where there's a bunch of wolves that are going to try to eat us, and it's kind of dark and it's not the easiest path and all that stuff. You want to go?"
No, dude, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, "No,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I'm just going to hang out here."
Yeah. I've got a lot of nothing going on, and it's
Yeah,
gonna take up my time, really.
yeah,
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 I can't walk away from it.
and so yeah, so we wouldn't want to go there. So God's leading, so we got to follow the shepherd.
Hmm.
So He's going to lead us through this.
Right.
But what's on the other side?
Yeah.
Right? Where is He leading us to? Because what we would want to do is stay in comfort,
Hmm.
and God has purpose for comfort. Matter of fact, He even says in that valley, David says, "Your rod and your staff, they what? They comfort me. They give me that comfort when I'm afraid." Or He's like, "I'm not afraid." Well, if it was me, I'm still afraid. But I keep looking at your rod and your staff.
Yeah.
right? I remember the last time a wolf tried to bite me, and he
Yeah,
walked away with a broken jaw.
yeah, right. You knock it into kingdom come.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
kingdom come.
So I'm reminded of those things. But what happens after we get through that valley? Right? Boom, boom. Let's see. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
I love that verse, by the way.
Yeah, it
Just
doesn't matter if the Balrog's hanging there, just looking, staring.
that's
He
right.
he can't touch me.
The Balrogs thing, I can't pass.
That's right. That's right. I can
I
sit there and
won.
eat. I can sit there and eat my pizza,
That's right.
drink my coffee, and I can just smile at him because
I can't
because
pass.
yeah,
I want to go.
you've anointed my head with oil, right? And anointing in the Bible it's a setting apart. This is mine. It's
Mhm.
it's a signifying of you belong to me and everything that goes with that, right? But when God would anoint kings, he's saying, I have chosen you. I mean, that's beautiful. You've anointed my head with oil, so I belong to you. I'm feasting in the presence of my enemies, then my cup overflows. So I've got more than I need. I'm drinking from the saucer because the cup's overflowed.
Right.
Like, oh, there's so much. I'm not even have to worry about it running out because there's such an excess. And this is, for me, surely goodness and loving kindness, or as King James, surely goodness and mercy will follow me.
Mhm.
They pursue me. How beautiful is that?
Well, and I was sitting here just glancing at that, and for the first time, Brad, you know me well enough to know that one of the things that I try to do is, and maybe I've never said this outright, and maybe again you've picked up on it. I play the what if game a lot
Mm-hmm,
with words, like what
mm-hmm,
like the semantics of this insinuate this, but then I also like to think about, okay, well, if they insinuate this, what's the alternative?
yeah,
Only goodness and faithful love will pursue me all the days of my life. What's the alternative? Well, the alternative is that they won't. But that's not the process of that's not the process that David writes through.
mm-hmm,
Only goodness and faithful love will pursue me all the days of my life, meaning that the darkest valley will not.
mm-hmm,
The
right.
darkest valley doesn't run after me.
And if
It's
I'm
just
with the
it's
right,
just there.
and if I'm with the shepherd, I don't have to pursue the goodness and mercy, the goodness and loving
That's right.
kindness. It's going to pursue me.
Dude, that's
I
good.
abide in Christ, and it's going to pursue me.
Yeah, man.
And here's the other side, right? And I use this example sometimes. If you go to a good Mexican restaurant, like an authentic Mexican restaurant,
Hmm.
if you got something else to do the rest of the day, you should probably go change, unless you want to smell like the
That's
Mexican restaurant.
exactly right, dude.
Because you're going to
Yes.
smell like
It
it.
stinks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
well, and I mean, like people are going to know you went to a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, right.
So you abide in Jesus, you hang out with Jesus, you're going to start smelling like Jesus. And what's going to happen is that goodness and mercy too, it's going to follow you. So what happens when you leave the room? That aroma,
People will notice something.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to know, hey, you've been with
Yeah.
Jesus. Now here's my biggest thing that I told them. I said, we like to be comfortable. We all like to be comfortable. I asked them to raise their hands. Like I was like, hey, who likes to be comfortable?
Right.
And then
Everyone.
you find out who's being truthful and who's lying about it.
That's right. Yeah. Liar. Liar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like, I didn't see you guys didn't raise your
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be comfortable, Brad, because I'm an exception to the rule.
And who likes to, who likes to suffer? But very few, if any, raise their hands. And usually, if it is, you're dealing with like kids and teenagers, and
Yeah. Right.
somebody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I love
Oh.
it. It's so good."
Right. Masochist. Right.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. Like you stubbed your toe earlier and you were crying about it. Like you don't like to suffer. But now, so we would not stay in comfort in green pastures and still waters if we could acknowledge what God has for us on the other side of the valley.
Hmm.
We wouldn't trade the feast and the anointing
Yeah.
and all this for a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing with our faith, right? Is it requires faith that we trust God.
Right.
That when He says, "Hey, we're going through this valley," or maybe He doesn't tell us, we just kind of wake up and look up and go, "Jesus, I don't like it here.
That's
I
right.
don't like this." And you can say that to
Of
Jesus.
course. Yeah. Like as if he doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but you go ahead. Say it to him. He loves you. Say it to the Heavenly Father. I don't want to be here. But God knows where He's leading us through and what He's leading us to. And so if we just stay at comfort all the time, we're missing out.
Well, and let me explain this too. Um, I want to say two things. Number one, and I don't want to unpack this because we're running short on time. Um, I don't think that we need to all the time read Psalm 23 as idealistically as you and I have been stating it, because you and I have been stating it through the frame where like God is the one who is leading us into the darkest valley.
Mhm.
Therefore, the darkest valleys that we enter have nothing to do with choices that we've made, right? In the perspective of the context of the conversation that we've been having, it's very idealistic. And I think that there are lots of times in our lives where that actually is the case. God knows that we are ready for this particular valley. And
Mhm.
so in we go. I also say that there are dark valleys that we thrust ourselves into.
Mhm.
We don't want to go, but at the same time, like sin, we
Mhm.
want the sin more than we want not the sin. So it's almost like I don't care about the dark valley or I'm ignoring it, so in I go.
Mhm.
Even in those moments, I refuse to believe that God says, "Look, dude, if you're going there, I ain't going with you."
No,
That is
he says,
not the
surely
God
I'll
I
be with you
serve.
always.
That's
Sure,
exactly
right.
right.
Surely I'll be with
Yes.
you always. And now he may be walking a couple steps behind, let you feel like you're there
That's
by
yeah,
yourself
and
because
that's
he lets you
true.
feel, he's gonna let you feel the darkness of that valley.
Right.
He's gonna
Right.
let you, you know, he's gonna let
But
you
he
feel
but he is still
the
always there
nearness.
with you. Yes.
When you turn around going, God, where are you? Oh, you're right there.
Yeah.
Because you never
Sorry.
left me.
Yeah. Yeah. Please get me
Right.
out of this. And God goes,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
All right, let's go.
So that's the first thing I
Yeah,
want to say.
I've been waiting to get you out of
That's
this.
right. Yeah. 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 I don't like it here either, man. Yeah.
It was like, look, this is Sucky Valley. I've been waiting for you to just say, hey, get me out of this.
But the other thing what you said last was, um, you know, we won't appreciate basically what you said was we won't appreciate the comfort if we don't ever have the suffering. And it's a supremely feeble metaphor. I'm
Mhm.
talking about like it's almost not worth saying, but
Mhm.
so listeners, if you're new to the show, I love coffee. I mean, Brad and I both do.
Yep.
But I'm way more of a coffee snob than Brad is. Um, way
Yeah, I'll
more.
drink a bad cup if I can't get a good cup.
Yeah, I'd really prefer not to drink bad cup. But anyways, when when I had so back in 2020, when COVID hit, I think it was probably around April is when Cher and I got COVID. That's the only time that I'm aware of that I had COVID, and I lost my taste or my sense of taste and smell.
Mm.
Um, there is something, and I mean, I let's see, I wasn't able to taste or smell for 3 days. I think um, there was something, Brad, about the flavor of coffee that I'm trying to put it into words, almost like romantically, like poetically. When I got my sense of taste back, and I mean, we're only talking about 3 days, not a long time, but I couldn't taste a thing,
Yeah.
nothing. There was zero taste. When I had that first sip of coffee and I could taste it, it was almost as if it was my very first cup of coffee again. Except
Mhm.
I didn't have to pass through like the bitter phase.
Mhm.
It was glorious. It was wonderful.
Yeah. You appreciate it
And
more.
I did. I like there was so much of that flavor that I had forgotten was there because I drank it so much. I drank it so often. And
Mhm.
again, I know it's a really, really feeble metaphor, but when we are in the dark valleys, first of all, I actually think that we appreciate the presence of God a lot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But when we come out of that, it's impossible. I'm convinced of it. It is impossible for us to not look backwards and see who we used to be before we pass through it.
Mhm.
And all of a
Mhm.
sudden, the person that, whether how big or small the change was, the person that we are after we came through it, thanks be to God for having me pass through that dark valley. Thank you
Yeah.
more that you didn't abandon me, But thanks be to God
Yeah.
for the person that you've changed me to be, because like your
Yeah.
presence, your power, and your work in my life is now all the more sweeter.
Well, and here's one of the things too that I remember. The valley of the shadow of death was never intended to kill us.
Bingo.
It
That's
was
right.
never intended to be death
Yeah.
because
In
Jesus
it,
already took the death.
right. And it feels like it's the valley of shadow of
Yeah.
death. Absolutely
Oh,
it
yeah.
does. But you're right. Jesus already took the death. Absolutely
Yeah.
right.
It is uncomfortable. The very air in that valley, it reeks and it feels bad.
The very air
So,
is a thick poison.
yeah,
Not with 200 men could you do this.
10,000, but yes,
10,000, whatever. Yeah. It's still
one
Boromir. I
does
know that
not
much.
simply walk into Mordor
Yeah.
unless Jesus is with you.
Unless Jesus is with you, Mordor, you ain't got nothing.
Jesus just hold the ring up, showing Sauron as he's throwing it in Mount Doom, like
That's
he's walking through the
right.
valley. Oh, wait, I don't even need to throw it in there.
I didn't need to
It's
throw it. Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. Listeners, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening to the show. We are very excited about being able to meet together, to bring you just some of our own thoughts and insights, how God has been working in our lives in various ways. But we want to hear from you. You know what to do. Subscribe to the show, rate and review our show. Let people know through iTunes, through Spotify, through iHeartRadio. Rate and review our show so that the public eye is able to kind
The
of
public
read
eye,
your
not the eye of
thoughts.
Sauron.
Not the eye of Sauron. He's not public though, you know. But again, you know what to do. You can follow us on our Facebook group page. You can follow us on Instagram. But let us know how we're doing. Interact with us. Remember, we want to see your Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Post some Mad Libs, and we'll run them. We'll do them on the show. We'll give you a shout out. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Share the show. Talk about the show. Share the show. Let people know. Let people know that we're here doing our thing, and continue as you have been to continue to participate and interact with us, because we want to hear from you. We really do. We're not just two voices on the radio. We want to know who's out there and what you're about, what you're doing. Brad, I love you, buddy.
Love you too. We love you guys.
Yes, listeners, we love you, and we will catch you next time.
See you. Bye.